Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you on this lovely, what day is it? It is Tuesday. At least it's Tuesday in Chicago. It may be Wednesday in other parts of the country, other parts of the world, other parts of the country. I'm pretty sure it's still Tuesday here. Again, welcome and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day, wherever you find yourself on this beautiful and messy Tuesday. I hope you find it in a place of goodness. I am Carol C.C. Miller, your positive life strategist, peace activator, and global hugger, coming to you with another episode of Embrace Your Life Chat, where the focus is to heighten celebrations and lessen sorrows through a positive focus. Doesn't mean everything is rainbows and unicorns, and it doesn't mean everything is awful either. It's to focus on where you want your life to be and how you want to feel and move forward. So those are what we're going to be talking about today. Please join me in comments and let me know where you're joining me from. I am in Chicago. It is a gorgeous summer day here in the mid 70s, and the humidity isn't that high, so it's a lovely day. But before we get into today's topic, I do like to go over a couple of things, and one is I'm not an absolutist. I'm not a big fan of the words always, never, right, wrong, good, or bad. 7 billion people on this planet, and I can't begin to say what is always right or never right for 7 billion. So I work on a scale of 0, always negative, to 100, always positive. I don't know anybody at 0, and I don't know anybody at 100. I know people who are closer to both spectrums, but it really is about being who you are and where you are in this moment. Whether you're at 30, 40, 80, anywhere in between. It's not a right or wrong, it's just where you're at. My personal work is to be in the 90 to 100% of the time kind, compassionate, loving, peaceful, and positive. Those are my top values that I work with. Been doing it for many years. So I am that the majority of the time. I am not that all of the time. I am not always kind. I'm not always positive. So fear visits me, frustration visits me, disappointment, all the normal things that visit us visit me too. But because of my daily practices and knowing that I want to focus on how I want to feel rather than how I might be feeling in the moment, again, it's not about ignoring how you're feeling in the moment, but it is about moving forward to feel a little bit better. So I encourage you to ask yourself, where do you feel like right today in this moment on the scale of 0 to 100 on positivity? Where would you put yourself? And you can go ahead and put that in comments as well. 51% is in the majority. 49% might be in the minority, but it's still not right or wrong. It's just where you are. If you're at 20%, my guess is you're probably not tuning in to listen to me, but if you are, welcome. Again, it's not a right or wrong. It's just where you are right now. Secondly, I am a coach and I love supporting people in living their best life, whatever that looks like. I'm not a counselor, nor am I a therapist. Sometimes to live that best life and to shine as bright as possible, getting counseling and therapy is going to help you get there sooner. I believe you're worthy of living your best life, whether it's coaching, support of friends, counseling, or therapy. I encourage you to create that support system around you to allow you to live your best life. I'm going to come into comments really quickly. Please feel free to ask questions about the topic. And if you have other topics you would like me to bring a little bit more love, kindness, compassion, and peace to, put those into, and I will add them to a future conversation. Although you just see me, this is a group conversation. Often people are here from all around the world, so I hope you've shared that as well. So let me move my notes to the side so I can see who's with me here. And I'm going to, hi, Brian, good to see you. Mohammed, good to have you here. You're working in Doha, Qatar. I'm not sure where that is, Mohammed. I'm going to have to look it up after the conversation. I always like seeing where people are from and living at. So, Sadiq, welcome. Wilbur, good to see you. It's been a while since I've seen your name pop up here. I'm not going to, Deepak Gagwa? I totally did not do your name justice, and I apologize. Welcome. It's so good to have you here. Hi, Rebecca. Good to have you. Anna, good to have you here. It's been a while since I've seen your name as well. So today what I want to talk about, and it actually came up because of yesterday, hi, Vanda, Coventry, England. Wonderful, wonderful to have you here. I tell you guys pretty much daily, not always, but it's generally speaking, as I say, I work in the 90 to 100% is where I want to be. Yesterday, I was in the cranky pants area for quite a long time, much longer than I want to give my attention to, but it just so happened to be that I was cranky yesterday. Probably most of the afternoon, I was cranky. Didn't get a lot of sleep the night before, so that was part of it. But I have the tools to move out of it, and I was not choosing to use any of them for a much longer period than I wanted to. So it's really about, again, what are you focusing on, and what do you want to do with that? I was not focusing on moving forward. I was focusing on being cranky. So I was giving my time, energy, and attention to what I did not want and how I did not want to feel, rather than feeling what I needed to feel and move forward. Now, it wasn't horrible. The world was not caving in on me. It wasn't like it was a really bad thing. However, I was cranky and I did not like it, but it took me quite a while before I started realizing, Carol, you have control over this. Why are you allowing yourself to stay in this space? Part of it is being gentle because I knew I did not get a lot of sleep the night before, but I was totally focused on cranky. I was totally focused on the don't wants that were going on, which were not even something that a normal day I would consider a don't want, but that's where I found myself. So it brought me into what was I planting in my own mind, in my own world on what I wanted in my life. And I was planting what I did not want. I was planting and I was focused on, I'm cranky right now. You could have said hi to me yesterday and I would have said hi back. You probably wouldn't even known I was cranky. I don't tend to exert those moods. It's more internal for me. But your hi to me in that moment would not have been like, oh, that's so nice. It would have been like, why is he talking to me kind of thing. So it's really about focusing on where you're at and where you want to be. So if you're new to positive focus and me, I like to pick a word, define it, come up with an affirmation, and then some tips and tools on what to do with the word that we're discussing for the day. So today's word, what we're discussing is planting. And it really is about our thoughts, our words, and our actions are planting things within us. Please remember the scale is 0 to 100. I am not 100% planting happy, positive, loving, kind thoughts in my head. As I just shared with you, yesterday afternoon was not one of those moments. So it is about doing it the majority of the time. And 51% is the majority of the time. It's also not about beating yourself up when you're not in the majority, but it is to remind yourself that you have the power. When you practice the tools and practice affirmations, you're able to move through it quicker. Still want to feel what you feel, but you're able to move through it quicker by knowing where you're at and where you want to go. So the definition of plant is to put or set in the ground for growth. So that's a physical plant, a crop or something, but your thoughts are being planted into your head. Your words are being planted into your head. Your actions are being planted, and that is becoming what your reality is the majority of the time. I don't know of anybody who's 100% thoughts are happy, kind, and positive. I don't know anybody 100% of anything, but it is the majority of the time. So ask yourself right now, whatever it is you're going through, whether you're in a moment of celebration or if you're in a moment of sorrow, what are you planting in your head about that experience? Are you focused on the hardship you're going through and it's hard, hard, hard? Or are you being gentle with yourself and looking at just a small step forward to feel a little bit better? Can you go from complete frustration and crankiness like I was yesterday to joy? Well, cranky and joy aren't, you can probably move there pretty quick, but if you're in a state of depression and really, really hard challenges in your life, going to joy, is it possible immediately? 7 billion people? Yes, it's possible. Is it probable to go from depression to joy quickly? It's probably not probable, but you can take steps to get there. So I want you to focus on those steps that you're going to take to feel a little bit better about whatever is going on in your world, on how you're creating your best life. So the definition, to put or set in the ground for growth. That's the definition of plant. So again, ask yourself what you're planting in your life, in your world, and what you want your life to look like. The affirmation for today is, I am ready, willing, and able to live my best life. And if that sounds too hard to do, like if you immediately say, no, I'm not able because of XYZ is going on, then I'm in the process of being ready, willing, and able to live my best life. An affirmation is just a statement. It can be a positive statement, it could be a negative statement, but it's something that you're affirming to yourself. So when you're affirming life is hard, when you're saying my life is hard, you are affirming that to yourself. When you say my life is easy, you are affirming that to yourself. Whatever your statement is, if you say my life is easy, and yet right today you're going through a really hard time, which I think the vast majority of us experience in our lifetime. But if you're saying my life is easy and it's an immediate no, it's not, then that is not a good affirmation for you. My life is easy is a positive statement, but if you negate it immediately, it's not a positive statement for you. So you might want to go into, I'm in the process of having my life be easy, or change it completely up. You want your affirmation to be believable. It can be a stretch from where you are, but you don't want it to be such a big stretch that you immediately say, no, that's not true. So today's affirmation again is I am ready, willing, and able to live my best life. Love to see if you have some other ideas for what your affirmations might look like. Put them in comments, and we'll talk about them once I get through the conversation today. I'll come back into comments and look at that. So tips on what you're planting. So we're going to talk about the planting, the nurturing, and then the weeding. So the planting is, and I've asked you this several times, so I want you to create a list of what you want to experience in your life, from the smallest to the largest. Like, I can't imagine this ever come true. And I want you to make a list of what does it look like for you. We all have different expectations and experiences that we want to, but who are the supporting characters in your life? What kind of personality do they have? Are they introverts, extroverts? Are they similar to you? Are they bringing new ideas? But what type of people do you want in your life that are supporting characters in your life? You are the star of your life. And then what type of people do you want? What type of boss do you want to have? Do you want to work? Or do you want to be the boss? What kind of people is it that you want to have in your best life experience? What kind of relationships do you want to have, from friendships to colleagues to love relationships to family relationships? What kind of relationships? Write those down. From the intimate relationship to what kind of relationships you want to have with your coworkers. What would be those ideal experiences to have? And then what's your ideal home look like? What is that for your best life? What kind of home are you living? Are you in the mountains? Are you by the lake? Are you in a city? Are you in the country? What is your best life look like? And I want you to, for this exercise, I don't want you to say, well, I don't have the education for that. I don't have the money for that. I'm living in the wrong area for that. I just want you to write down what it is that best life looks like to you. So leave behind all the reasons why you can't experience that. That's not what we're going for. Right now, we're going for what you want it to be, what you want it to look like. And what kind of adventures do you want to take? Where do you want to go in the world? What do you want to see in the world? What do you want to experience in the world? What do you want to learn in the world? So write all those down. Relationships, the work, your meaningful work, whether it's working for yourself, working for an organization, what kind of meaningful work do you want to have? Your home life and adventures. Anything that you can think of that would create living your best life, I want you to write all of that stuff down. And then we're going to nurture it. So you've written a list, and if you've been with me before, you might already have this list. I don't know how many of you actually write them down, but you probably have them in your head, if nothing else. So we're going to nurture that list. So I want you to pick a few things that you can nurture it with. So affirmations is an absolute good way to nurture whatever it is that you're dreaming of and you're wanting to create in your life. So create some affirmations around what that home life looks like. Create some affirmations around your work life. Create some affirmations around your romantic life, your friendships, your family experiences. So affirmations are a great way to work with that. Secondly, gratitude. So get into gratitude of where you're at right now, even if it's not where you want to go. Find the things that are working and be grateful for them. Look at the experiences ahead and find the gratitude in growing into that you want it to be. And then we want to just take a small step forward on something in that list that you're wanting to live in your dream life. It could be doing some research about it. It could be if that dream job, maybe you don't have the education that you need for it. So it could be looking into getting that education. It could be that dream job, you look for the people who are doing that type of job that you want and see if you can talk to them and learn from them. It could be updating your resume and sending it out or getting prepared. It absolutely, and I just use an absolute, but visioning what you want it to look like, seeing it as it's already here is a great way to help create that too and plant those ideas. I promise you, and we'll get into this in the weeding, but I promise you, as you're preparing for these dreams and you're planting and you're nurturing, doubt is still going to come up. Fear is still going to come up. I'm not good enough for this. I don't have this education. I don't have that. It's part of life. So it's not about being mad at yourself for experiencing that, but it is how are you going to move forward when doubt shows up? And that's the weeding part. So we're going to weed out those negative thoughts and reframe them. Not about beating yourself up. Again, 0 to 100. I don't know anyone who is at 100% positive all the time. The more you work on it, the easier it is to stay above the 50%, but it's still the negativity, the fear, the disappointment, the frustration. It's going to visit you. It's what kind of power do you want to give it? The more time, energy, and attention we give anything, we allow it to grow. Yesterday, I was allowing my cranky mood to grow. Today, I'm aware that that was kind of silly for me to give my power over to the fact that I didn't have a lot of sleep. And so I know that that won't be my experience today. Will crankiness visit me again? Absolutely, it will. And I get to decide how much time, energy, and attention I want to give it. So it's really about knowing where you're at and where you want to be. So when fear visits, reframe it into something that feels a little bit better. When I can't do that, and maybe you've had experiences where it's never worked out before, get curious about, I wonder if it can work out this time. I wonder what it would be like for this to really grow into what I want it to be. Get into a curious state. Because when you're in a curious energy, it's a lot different. Ask yourself, it just feels better than when you go into the doubt, like, this has never worked before. I wonder if it can work. So just try it out and see how that works for you. But curiosity is something that's going to help keep that energy flowing into the wants more than bringing that energy into the don't wants. The don't wants aren't wrong. The frustration isn't wrong. The disappointment isn't wrong. The crankiness isn't wrong. It's how much time, energy, and attention do you want to give it? How long do you want to stay there? Be gentle with yourself and move into feeling a little bit better. So as you move through, ask yourself what it is you want to plant. Remember, your thoughts, words, and actions are creating your reality, are part of creating your reality. We have outside forces that we can't control. We can't control the weather. We can't control how other people are behaving. Sure be nice if we could, but that's not part of it. What we have control over is how we respond and react to what's going on in our environment. So create by planting what it is that you want in your life, weeding out the don't wants, being gentle with it, because I make sure here that I really want to make sure people understand when you're feeling bad, when you're feeling fear, when you're feeling disappointment, frustration, it's not about ignoring it and shuffling it away and pretending it doesn't exist. Because if we don't look at it and say, what's going on here, it tends to just sit there and wait to come back again. So I'm not asking you to pretend everything is happy and joyful and peaceful and rainbows and puppy dogs, but it is about seeing the challenge you're facing, being gentle with yourself in the moment of it, and moving forward to feeling a little bit better. Planting those seeds of hope, planting those seeds of I believe in myself, that I'm worthy and deserving of this coming true. Planting the seeds that I'm going to be gentle with myself in the process. Planting the seeds that when fear visits, I'm going to listen, I'm going to acknowledge it, and then I'm going to move forward to feel a little bit better. So that's what we have today on planting your best life. And the best life is going to look different from the days that you have plenty of sleep, to the days that you did not get a lot of sleep, to the days that you feel at your best, to the days that maybe you have a cold. So it's always shifting and evolving. And you have the ability to be gentle with yourself, and to move forward to feeling a little bit better. So let me come into comments here and see if there's any questions for today's topic or future. Um, Hello, Lizette. Good to have you here. Tracy, I hope I said your name. I'm powering up. I love that. I don't see, and by the way, sometimes I don't see comments, so please know if I've missed answering you. It was not intentional. I did not see it. So if I've missed a question, please put it in again, because I am not seeing any questions. I'm just seeing a lot of where people are joining from. From Florida, I'm sure that's D. Oh, Culver, Oregon is Anna. So I don't see any questions. I am going to close up with Global Free Hugs is coming up September 9th through the 11th. I should know how many days till that, but I don't. But I would love to have you consider signing up to join me. I've been doing free hugs since 2008, 2 years off because of COVID. COVID is still here. I'm not saying it's gone. So I want people to pay attention to their community guidelines on doing it. But we are going to offer free hugs again this September. Right now we have people in 3 continents, 6 countries, and 14 states joining. And it's to go out in a public place, offer free hugs, hold a sign that says free hugs, and offer free hugs to people walking by. If you're not comfortable with that, which I was absolutely not comfortable with that when I started in 2008, I encourage you to still sign up and say that you're going to offer hugs to your family and friends, to people you know that weekend. Take a picture or 2 or 5 and send it to me, and I will include it in the album of the Global Huggers. It's really all about spreading love one hug at a time. And I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure this world could use a little bit more love. So that's what we have for you today. I see a comment here from Anna. You've been walking a mile at 6 a.m. every day to better myself. Excellent. That is it's a great way to just start your day. It gets you out there. I think sometimes when you get out of your own space, you can see the immenseness that we have in this world is offering love, kindness, compassion, and peace to us. So that's what I have for you today. I am actually not going to be here on Thursday, at least not at 11:30. I have a kindergarten graduation to go to on Thursday late morning. So I will try to pop in maybe later Thursday afternoon, but I will definitely be back Tuesday for sure. But I will not be here on Thursday. So take care, be kind and gentle to yourself and those around you. And remember that you matter. You matter to me, you matter to the world, and most importantly, you matter to you. So long for now. We'll talk soon.